Greetings everyone, welcome back to the Let's Play series. Let's dive right in. So the city is progressing well. This is actually the farm, but I wanted to show some of the progression so you guys get a good idea. You know, your event center, which is this building right here, is going to show a couple of new events. And this is where I was going to say that it's always good to save your items, right? So right now what's going on is this drag racing. It's a fun little mini game. However, this is a money pit. This is something that you want to avoid from spending too much, especially early game. You are way better off spending on officers, on equipment, and titans. This is not a good spend. However, what you should do is make use of every advantage of the free items that are given. So if you haven't created a team, go ahead and create a team, and then you can either join other teams. I find it, it's best that the moment that this event starts, just create your new team. It costs 200 gold, but it's well worth it because when you create the team, if you're waiting for somebody to accept you and it takes, let's say, a day for them to for you to find the team, you're losing out on this passive parts that's accumulating the moment you're in a team. So even if you're a one-member team, it accumulates these parts. So create your own team for 200 gold, invite your alliance members, and that's how you would do it. Here, this is a farm. I didn't create my team here, but, even if you didn't have the gold in your account, you can go to a farm account, create the team with your farm account, with the gold, spending the gold on the farm account, and then, you can invite your main to this. So create that team and get this passive bonus of in the factory, in this modify factory, collect these parts. These are essentially what lets you level up your car and doing the quest. So let's take a quick look at the quests. So here you're going to have some diligence and courage quests, or these drag racing trials. They've changed the name. And here you can see some of these early ones are going to be hard to do unless you've done them. Unless you've spent money on the Titan parts, right? So these are going to be hard to get. It's too early in this server to really do some of those. This should be a little bit more attainable. Officer XP and doing some of these skills. Skills is going to be a little hard because you need to get a full skill and then actually a 2-star officer to do that. So let's take a quick look at what we can do and whether it's worth spending some of these items. One more event to cover is this Titan Power Boost event. This is, remember when I told you, even after you unlock your Titan, don't go ahead and upgrade it. It's very tempting. It's going to say, that highlight button is going to be, the Titan button, and this red button is going to be tempting you to upgrade it, but you don't want to do it. You want to wait for this event to start. Why? Because basically anything that you upgraded before this event started doesn't accumulate to these points. So we waited in this farm account, and I already did it in the main, but I'll show you here. And now we can go ahead, click the one-tap upgrade, and we're going to be able to actually collect some of those items by holding on and increasing that Titan power. So here you can see in the event, boom. If I had spent those the moment they were available, you wouldn't be able to collect some of these items. And these are really helpful. These are 6 hours of speed in buildings and recruitment ones. We're probably easily going to be able to, in a free account, collect this next tier 2. I was able to on the main without really spending. We will have to do some of the diligence quests and some of the updates, and you'll be able to collect that too. So those are some great rewards, and that's why it's really important. When you start off, don't spend the items until you need them. Let's look at the quests again. You can see here in the drag racing trials, there's some elite orders and there's some officer XP ones. So let's see, do we have enough elite orders to do it? Remember, you want to do it in those batches of 18. We don't have it. We have 17. But here's where tower comes in play. So if you go into your tower, always check on your classic tower progression. Can you do the next level? And then remember, 3, 6, 9 are great rewards. Here you can see you get some normal, then you get some elite orders. So let's go ahead and do this one and get some of those elite orders. These early levels are fairly easy. I'm going to show you a really easy, fast way to do it. I usually like to do this in 4 times speed just because it's not a challenge. And of course, the moment I say that, watch me let some of them creep through. In this early level, the highest one that you can build is a machine gun. So I prefer to put a rocket at the beginning, a slow tower to get some of those earlier kills, and then keep upgrading those machine guns for the rest of it. So this is basically going to be machine gun galore. It's all driven by, what's the highest, strongest tower you can make at each level. Also, one more thing, don't forget to do daily. It resets on Fridays, but you really want to make sure you do the infinite tower mode, play it well on Friday, and then reset it. But make sure you hit the auto button. We're going to show you that in a second. So you really want to mind your items and use them effectively. You don't want to spend it when you can avoid it, especially for the ones that do come through. I'm going to give you pointers of which ones you want to save and which ones are easy to actually go ahead and use, like normal recruitment orders. There's really no need to save it. Elite ones, always save. There's always going to be some quest that's going to give it. And as a free player, you really, really, really want to make sure that you don't misuse that. Remember last time we accidentally clicked on the button and did 9 orders since trying to demonstrate the new menu. All right, we finished this, which is great. We got 3 stars. You get 3 stars as long as nobody creeps through, and then you can see some of the other ones, how you can get 3 stars. So here, we're going to collect those 3 elite orders. You have to go back and collect the box, which we did. You can see there's the 1 elite order from the second and then the 2. So now, suddenly we have enough orders to do our quest. So let's go ahead and recruit. So we had 17, now we have 20. So we'll hit the button. It won't ask you to prompt again. And it does this animation, which we'll skip. And you can see the first one was a dud, so there really is no point in restarting. We'll just do it again. If we had more, then we would cancel out the game and do it. And looks like I got Medici, which is actually great for a farm, right? So if this was a main, you would be thinking, oh man, that sucked. But for a farm, Medici is great because it gives you resource gathering speed. And even better, now that we have a purple here, and that's one that we want to keep on your farm, you are going to upgrade this guy. So now we can actually meet the second quest. So here we can collect on this elite orders, right? So we have, yep, we did 18 of these. So we can collect some of those free items. But we're also going to go ahead and use the XP. We need to use a total of 20,000 XP. And remember, you don't want to use any more because you're going to need it again. Unless, you're trying to really get strong really quickly and meet some other quests. So let's go ahead and do 17,000 XP. So we're going to do 5 of these would get us to 15, and then 2 more is 17. So we've done just enough to get us that quest met. Great. Collect those items. We're doing great. Now this one is a little tricky, right? So how do you use an officer skill? And officer skills are really important as you progress. Now you can't really use an officer skill because it unlocks that 2nd star. We clearly don't have enough there, but we do have enough here. So and you can see I have well more than enough. So even if there is a quest later on to do it, let's go ahead and see. But before we do that, let's actually check, do you even have, and now that I think we leveled up, we can actually appoint 1 more officers. Go ahead and appoint it. Do we even have a skill? So if you want to look at your skills and look at what's in your inventory, you can click on this officer skill button here. And here you would kind of find if anything is available. Right now, if you click on skills, nothing is available here. So even if I took it to 2 star, it's not really helpful because I don't have a skill. Sometimes you get lucky and get a full skill. We really haven't made any of the fragments. You can see we have some of the fragments here. You can build one once you collect 10. We have 2 of 10 here. So there's really no point. We can't do this quest, so we'll skip that. But from the things that we did collect, you can go back to the racing car, go to your garage, and you can use gold. Oh, great. So now we went from a C to a B, so that's even better. But here is where I'd say, take the free items. Don't spend any more than you have to. I did 100 gold explored there just because I had fat fingers. I didn't mean to. You could use gold for it, but it's probably not a wise spend, especially on a farm. But here you can actually disassemble some of these parts that we did. So we'll get rid of some of the B cars because it's a worse one, and we'll get rid of all the C cars and hit disassemble, get some more parts. And now we can actually level up that B, and we're doing good. You can see that from free items, you can actually collect enough items here to be able to get this new island event and increase the troop recruitment speed. So 6 is very attainable free. 11, I think you have to spend some to get those second items. 15, which gives an attack bonus, you really have to spend a lot. And this is where I'm saying, resist the temptation. Don't get these items. These are very small incremental boosts. Don't spend on the racing one until you spend on everything else that makes more sense. Here, back to what I was saying, the infinite towers, you want to make sure that you come back. See, there's a time remaining. Today is 1. You want to make sure that's 0. Hit the auto button. Play it once on Friday and repeat for the rest of the week, and you keep getting these Z coins. When you get these Z coins, when you accumulate enough of them, and I'm going to talk about this a lot more, but here Don't be tempted to spend on anything except for these items here. So the blue blueprint chest A, the blueprint chest S, and as needed, the extension components. Don't get any of these other items. So this first one, yes. These purple boxes, yes. That's the only thing that you want to spend on your tower defense coins, nothing else. Armaments, check it daily, see if there's a good sale. Like here you can see this is a 25% sale. You probably want to buy that. And then this resource increase is a good buy, and you should buy that. On this farm account, I don't really have that much gold. I used it to place flags. I'm not going to buy these, but I'm just giving you an idea that you want to come back and get this. So if this was your main, you should probably consider buying this better rewards one, quality reward quality boost. This purple one is one of the great ones for increase in resources. It gives you a 12% gain. And then the bombs are really good as well, especially on sale. So anything on sale, these items you should get. Okay, so back to some of these quests. You can see here that I got VIP level 3. There really isn't too much long left on it, but however, we could use some of the build queues. You can see that there's a boost here, as well as a 10-minute free, or we're at VIP level 3. They're showing 4 here, so we get 10 minutes of free boosts. Here, if you wanted to kind of quickly do any of your speeding through, it is a good idea to while you have that VIP active. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to use 200 gold to unlock the second queue. Remember, in my main, I had that $5 spend was the only spend that I've done in this account so far, and it's worth it because every time you want to build that second queue, it costs 200 gold. We did it for the farm for demonstration purposes. Let's go ahead and start building some of these because I wanted to show you these quests. We have to wait for the biochemical zombies. We can speed it through. You want to keep a couple of buildings always active. Your upgrades on your wall, you want to make sure that you upgrade any troops that are available. You want to make sure that you're always building zombies if you can afford the biochemical materials. And you want to make sure that each of these buildings are always building troops. And remember, on the farm troops, you want to get the ones that give you more carrying capacity. So let's go ahead and for the second building queue, let's actually do, so I like to do it this way. Keep progressing your main hall and what is needed based on one queue, which you can see here. This is building the camp. That was one of the quests here. And then for your second one, keep progressing these quests until you get some of these elite orders. So let's go ahead and do some of these quests. Let's upgrade the factory. We don't really have time there, but let's go ahead and build the hospital since that's needed. And if we did want to speed up something, which I will do this camp here, you can see we have a good bit of speed. So let's go ahead and catch up this account. You don't want to overspend until events, but remember the ultimate goal is to get to level 16 in those 2-week period. How do you see that goal? It's right here. You can see in this city upgrade level, that's your ultimate goal here, to reach level 16. And we're on good track to be able to do that, even in the farm as well as the main. So we sped through the camp. Let's do one more, 1 hour. And here, perfect. If I use 30 minutes, it gives me 10 minutes free. I'm done. I have 27 minutes left on my VIP, so I'm going to speed through a couple of other items. Let's go ahead and build one more batch of zombies. We'll use some recruiting speeds here. And for the second building, you're going to follow the quest here for the Doomsday Recovery Plan. We're going to build up the training grounds to level 10. So it's really important to kind of keep up with both, especially if you want those free items. Let's build that second batch of zombies so we meet the quest. Good. Let's do the factory. Let's speed up this factory troops. Well, I have too many things building. Let's speed up the one of these. Not doing the best use of speeds, but I wanted to demonstrate, so bear with me. Let's get one more level. Great. Boom, boom, boom. And then to level 10. Last thing, training grounds. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's speed this guy up. And now you can either collect them individually by clicking these, but once you have all of them met, you can just click this bottom at the bottom one here. And so we've collected everything of those items. And then the next layer of skills, this is what I wanted to show you. So here you can see that, if you keep up with them, these are really great rewards. That's 9 full elite orders. right? So keep up with these and do them. And once you get these, it will really help you get those skills and get those heroes early on. So remember, wait for the event, do these quests, keep up with Doomsday, keep up with Tower, get all the free items, and don't use them. Save them for when you need it. I did want to show this quest is pretty hard to do. The total equipment power reaches 3,000. So you can see that when you unlock this building, it gave you a free radar. And then you come to this dilemma about, okay, so wait, how do I get this quest met and keep on progressing and get those 9 elite orders? Here is where I would suggest a couple of things. So in this, all of the guides that you'll see, the other detailed guides that I've written, that I've recorded, I recommend, really doing these parts at purple, so wait until your equipment. The only exception is to meet this quest. So on this, meeting this quest actually isn't, you're not losing anything except for maybe 1 white material for doing this. And I'll show you why. So here on this account, you can see that I have enough of this power ore, right? And I have this white material. So I recommend building a white equipment, anything, in order to meet this quest. So we're going to hit the develop button. It takes 3 seconds. The chances are going to be, 100% it's going to be white. We're going to switch over and I'm going to show you a couple of things just in terms of the loss and the gains and the chances and a very, very brief introduction to the equipment elite facility. But let's make sure that that actually met our quest. Yes, it did. So you see, building that extra equipment met this quest, and now we're on good track to do these other 2 quests and collect those 9 orders. There's actually 1 more quest after this that is also another 9 orders, but we'll switch over now. Let me quickly show you some of the breakdowns and some of the mechanics of the elite facility. This is on a farm account in an older server where I really don't care about the equipment. There's only 1 equipment on your farm that's important, and that is this mechanical armor. Why? Because you can see that the ratio at level 2, it gives this research output boost of 12.1%, right? So you want this to be purple or even orange if you're lucky. But that's the only thing on your farm that you want to focus on is this armor. You can see that I actually had built some level 1s here, but I actually shut them down because you really don't want that farm BP to be higher for no reason. And so to keep the farm BP down, I only keep the mechanical armor active. Now, in early game, none of this is important. That's more to, improve your matching and global events that you keep the world BP down. It's a guess. Nobody knows it for certain. But here, I'm going to use some of these equipment that, so the shining gold layer here means that you have something that you can actually enable at the top right corner here. So I built these level 1s, really not important, but I wanted to highlight kind of how it works. So if you go into this elite equipment facility and you go into manage, that's this screen. There's another screen and another view that you can go into develop, right? So in develop, this is the screen there too. But this develop shows you because we had all those level 1s, you can basically develop it to level 2 if you wanted to. I'm going to show you how to destroy. So in order to destroy something, you would go into your manage, right? Say, this is the retrofit that we want to destroy. So if it's enabled, you won't actually see it in this menu. So the first thing you have to do if you want to destroy it is to go in and hit shut down. Now, why would you destroy it? You would only destroy it if, if you've built something better to replace it with. So here in what I'm demonstrating is you can build that level 1 and there's really no loss in destroying it. That's kind of what I'm highlighting, right? So this level 1, this retrofitter, we already built it and we showed it in the farm account a second ago. We're going to go back here and go into storage. Now in storage, there's a second tab here. So this already shows you all your parts. Here's if you've collected these enough, and you can get these from zombie hunting. Zombie hunting is extremely important because you get a chance for doing these parts as well as doing your dailies. And these parts, each one of them takes a long time, right? So from a white to green, it takes 5 to get there. From green to blue, it takes another 5. So that means from white to blue, it takes 25. And then from blue to purple, it takes 125 materials of white grade, right? So then you can take 5 of these blue ones to make a purple. So it takes a long time to get those materials. And so, when these don't work or when you make a mistake, it really hurts. And this is one of the things that when I started off, I made so many mistakes. So just to highlight, I've turned off everything here, you can see. And, here in this menu, it's going to show you all of your equipment that's turned off and all of your extensions that's not equipped, as well as all of these blueprints that are needed for developing the extension. So this top part is equipment, this top bottom part is extensions. I have other videos on these, but I'm just going to show you what you can do. So if you select an equipment, the retrofit that we were talking about, and you want to disassemble essentially means destroy it. Don't do this for a purple one or one that you're currently using. You would only do this, for the examples that I'm saying. So I want to show you what happens. So it costs 5,000 ore to make it and 2 white equipment. When you hit disassemble, it's going to give you a warning. It's going to tell you you're going to get back 5,000 ore and you're going to get any 2 materials, random. So the only loss is that, of these 2 material grades, one of them is more rare than the other. And so if you actually hit this and say and you get it back, you can see, oh wait, I got a power pump and a sturdy adhesive and 5,000 power ore. So from a loss perspective, developing a level 1 white equipment, you've gotten back 100% of the ore, and you've gotten back 100% of the material, except the grades might have been different. We were lucky here because one of these materials is rare, one of them isn't. And how do you figure that out? When you try to build them, essentially, if we come back here, see, now it's no longer highlighted as with that gold border because there is nothing to equip. We destroyed it. But when you want to build something and you want to actually, or let's say you want to upgrade it here to level 2, the materials on the left side are always more common and the materials on the right side are the rarer ones. So these are harder to find. So in this example, if I wanted to take this to level 2, I enable the equipment here and then try to build it. Of course, this is not going to let us because this city is level 15. And here, just as a demonstration, you can see, okay, I'm taking a blue core, I have blue materials and 1 purple. The chances of it being blue are 76%, and the chances of it being purple is 23%. However, if you try to build it from scratch, let's say if I try to build something from scratch, if you already have something, it's always going to default to what you have. If you want to build it from scratch, you can go back here, go into Develop, go into Mechanical Armor, and say, I want to start from scratch and I want to build a purple one. So if you had purple materials here, which we don't have enough to make a purple material, it's showing you what you do have, so we're not going to do that. But you can build it from scratch here. You can't do it from the overview screen, but you can from the develop from scratch. So enable it again. That was a very quick overview. If it's confusing, it's really one of the most complex things in this game, and it takes a while to kind of get used to. I just wanted to highlight that there is no loss at level 1. Now, for further demonstration, I am going to show you there is some loss at other levels. So let's take, for instance, now I don't really care about this account, so let's go ahead and build another white retrofit, right? So I'm going to select white and white, and you can see that the chances of it being, what are the outcomes? It's 100%. Well, let's just play around. Since this is a rare material and this is less rare, let's use green here and white there. And this is here you can see at level 1, in order to build it, it doesn't give you a 50-50 chance. It's going to cost you 5,000 power ore, but clearly in this farm I've gathered and really never upgraded anything, so I have more than enough. Let's go ahead and hit the develop button. So we have a 44 chance of purple and a 55 chance of white. And of course it became white. So, if you're lucky, it could have become green. So let's not enable that yet. We're going to go ahead and, let's enable it. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I hit develop. So this is going to 100% purple. Well, great. It created a purple one. Now we have 2 choices here. So now this is even good. So you can see that whenever you have these 2 choices here at the bottom, that means you've built one. But let's for demonstration purposes, just to continue, I'm going to enable the white one, leave the purple in there, but I'm going to now try to upgrade it. So let's try to upgrade it. And here you can see that I only have one of this green. Let's try that same thing. We're going to use white here. And we're going to use white material here and take this to level 2. In order to take it to level 2, if you try to hit the develop button now, it's going to say, wait a minute, you actually need to put something in the core. This core is going to be the one that we just made. So let's go ahead and put that guy. When you select it, it automatically defaults to picking the best one, but we don't want to use those yet. So let's go back and just do white. Here I'm showing you that even if there is a little bit of loss when you go to level 2 and break it down. So we took a level 1 retrofit and now we're going to upgrade it to level 2. So here you can see I need 3 white equipment. One of them is rare and 2 of them are common. And we're going to hit the develop button. It's going to be 100% chance it's going to be a level 2 white. There's no odds there. Well, great. We did that. Now, I'm not going to enable it because I want to break it down. So I'm going to, just for demonstration purposes, go back into storage, go to equipment. There's my level 2 retrofit, and I'm going to disassemble it. Here's what I wanted to highlight. So at level 2, there is some loss because see, at level 2, you're only getting back what it took to go from level 1 to level 2. So the loss there is 5,000 power ore because you're not getting back 25,000 plus 5,000. You're getting back 25,000 only. So you're losing that 5,000 that you did to get to level 1 is lost forever. And the 2 materials that you did to get to level 1 is lost forever because you're only getting back the 3 materials that it takes to go from level 1 to level 2. Similarly, if you upgraded this to level 3, and you would lose 5,000 plus the 25,000 in power ore, so 30,000 ore, and the material. So what I wanted to highlight here is for that quest, building a level 1 equipment, you basically really lose nothing. You get all the power ore back. You do lose the chance that, and why don't we actually break it down so that I can show you here. So because we were just doing this for demonstration purposes, let's go back into storage, go to equipment, go to my retrofit, and actually disassemble. We're going to lose 5,000 power ore. So we got the 25,000. We didn't get the 5,000 that we did to make level 1. And this is interesting, right? So it was random. Circuit board and console are both more rare than so these are both rare items. So we got lucky again. But you could have easily gotten 3 common items here. So the only loss was, the loss in material wasn't that great here. I know that was a little confusing, but, hopefully it gives you at least some perspective into it. It's a little complicated. Ask the people in your alliance or your world for, questions or information, or ask me, before you do something too dangerous on the elite equipment. It just takes a really long time to gather all the materials, and it really sucks when, you make a mistake. So don't mess with that early game. Wait until you figure out things, watch a couple of other videos, ask questions in order to figure that out. Let's come back to kind of showing a progression in my main. We reached 250 BP here. Troops are really important, and the right type of troops is important. I just wanted to show you in your research tree, as you're doing this, most of your research should be focused on military. You can see I focus on long range here, expansion of the fleet, and you want to focus on the speed that you're building this. So here, I don't have enough oil, but, I haven't raided a farm yet, and I'm going to talk about raiding farms as well. I do want to get some of this. Let's go ahead. I don't want to keep building or keep opening boxes every time. I want to get that draft and that leadership up. So draft basically helps you recruit troops faster. Leadership improves your fleet size. Right now, we don't have that many troops to fill up our fleet, so we're going to do draft first and then focus on leadership. As you're building these up, notice that I kept the camp at level 4, the second camp. You have 2 camps here and there. And you have 2 factories, and you have 1 workshop, which isn't open yet. One of the big things that open up is this level 13, and that's really what I wanted to show you guys. Level 13 is where you can make T5 troops, and it opens up a number of things. It opens up this workshop where you can build, energy troopers, shielders, lasers, not at 13, but at 16. So there's some really good new troops that open up there. I did want to show that, just from doing the free quest, so even after my mistake of using 9 of these on accident last time, you can see just from doing the quest and keeping up with Tower, I have 34 elite orders saved up. I haven't spent any money on that. The only thing that we really did was this eternal golden hammer. So here you can see in our we just did that in the farm, but let's go ahead and meet some of this other quest here. In this team, that's where it's passively collecting. You can gather that. We're going to actually go ahead and do the elite order quest and get those items. So let's go ahead and do it twice. Let's see if this time we actually get one of the. We got Tifa, amazing luck, and this is where I'm going to show you. The moment you get it, exit out of the game, come back to the game, and the first thing you're going to do is go back in there and try to do that 9 again. If you don't get anything in the first try, it really doesn't help, but let's go ahead and see if we get it. I'm hoping I'm going to get another draw of 9 purple. Let's see. No, we didn't. But still, we got Godfather, which is actually a great blue hero, so this is not a bad draw. And we, of course, met our quest for the Drag Race Trials, and now we're going to collect those items. So not a bad day, but Tifa is amazing. Tifa is the best free war hero. So the luck in this account continues to grow. Tifa is absolutely the best. We got Katie first. So it really does pay to be, it really does matter if you're lucky or not. And here, I can actually now meet the quest of the Hero XP. So let's go back here. Let's make sure, how much do we need to do? Oh, I haven't done any Hero XP, so we're going to use all 220,000 of that XP on Tifa. Tifa is where you want to spend that. So let's go ahead and do it. So 6 of these will give us 18, and then 2 more gets us 20. Tifa goes to level 8, and we can also collect those items. Great. For Officer Skill XP, I think I was lucky and I actually did get a skill. So let's see if that is true. Awesome. So here you can see I did get a skill, a full skill. I didn't have to build it, but there is one available for a director level item. So we actually could meet that skill here. So let's go ahead and show you that. So if I go to a point, remember, you can only equip a skill at level 2, so let's go ahead and actually start this up. I have enough fragments, right? So it'll cost me only 8 to take this to level 2. So let's start up once, and then let's start up again. Even though there isn't a quest, because this basically allows us, it will meet some other quests, and now we can actually say, yes, I want that Steel Expert. Boom. So now we have that. It's also not ideal. You don't really, in your main account, you don't really want to be using, experience books for this item. However, because this is a demonstration, I really wanted to show that. So you can see here we actually met some of these objectives, and now you can actually get the processing fragment. That's one of the skills you can collect. And there's more because we got a hero to 2-star, so there's some more quests that you could meet, so this is great. But let's, for demonstration purposes, I will show you. So if we go back to the quest, always double check and say how many do they want you to use. Oops, here. We need to use only 500 officer skill XP. So that's 5 books. So we come here, back to here. We're going to actually increase this to, it's 10 books. I wouldn't advise this at all, but you can reset this. It costs a little bit, so if you hit the forget button, you can see we use 10 and we're getting 9. I believe that the loss ratio is, I want to say it's 90%. So you're losing that 1 skill book, which isn't that bad considering that, you wouldn't have gotten these free items, right? So you can see that you got some items here, the modified parts, you've got some resources, which is really important now, and you've got 6 hours of troop recruitment. So if you're lucky enough early game, when this event starts, that you have one of those skills, you can, meet both the quest for this new commander, as well as now the racing trials. And then you can go into the racing trials and get a better car and meet that. I'm not really so much worried about the racing trials and the items from the garage and the car, but I am any of those free items on resources and the experience books is what you want to get. Here you can see I'm not doing a good job in terms of mobility. You can see I have 99. We're going to talk about quickly a little bit of you probably early game want to send all of your troops to kill zombies, and then I'm going to show you some fleets later on as we progress through this. You can see that in my fleet I'm sending basically the kitchen sink. I'm sending 43,000 units, and there is the troop power is 121. This zombie that we're hitting, you can see that the recommended battle power is 148. So we're close to that number because of the Titan, and the Titan we just leveled up. You can get close to it. Also notice I waited to save, and so here I was saying you're able to collect this last tier here. It's going to be pretty hard without spending to reach the 12,500. So I don't think we're going to reach that as a free account. But make sure that if you're restarting, that you always wait to spend those items. So use up all of your mobility. Make sure that something is cooking, right? In your wall, in your zombies, in your 2 queues, in your research queue. Here also, when you click on your defense tower, you can build items here. And then also on your garage, there's some research here that you can do too. So early game, make sure everything is cooking. You should have enough in doing all the quests and staying active in terms of resources to be able to do that. You still don't have to raid a farm. But if you do need to raid a farm, you can easily do that. Always make sure that your main is going to be progressing and something is building all the time. One more thing I wanted to point out that, as you, if you get the Eternal Hammer Q, you can actually, if you're getting these rewards from events and quests, you can actually exchange this to get the 200 gold. So each one of those costs 200 gold. Because you got the Eternal Q, that's actually great. You can actually get any of those gifts that you can get that 200 gold. So it's not a bad deal. Here you can see that my VIP isn't activated. These cards are really important here in your city buff as you get these VIP cards. And in fact, one of the good spends for gold, once you get to a certain level at VIP 7 and 8, they become even more important. So save these cards. Last thing I wanted to show you is use your exchange center here in your merchant docks and black market trade. Some of these are really good. Every day you want to make sure that you sell food and oil. Here the exchange rate was good. So even if you can't keep up with it, these gives you these tickets that you can then use to buy items, and also look at the exchange shop. So anything that converts research to building, I usually exchange it because I need research the least. Anytime that there is on a farm, these are really good items to boost, to buy. So, it's later game, you'll have more of these. In a main, these officer fragments are probably good buys, but they do cost gold. And then turret parts is also good items. Recall cards is also good items, but we'll cover these as we progress through. So use up your mobility, and then in the city ruins here, if you hit explore, you want to make sure you do all of these. These are the best items, and that these are free items that really help you. So all these should be done daily. Even if you are at max refugees, this is a mistake that I actually did for a full year and a half until somebody told me that even if you're at max refugees, still continue to do this twice, because the XP and the items that you get from this is actually better than hitting a zombie. Because, 2 times only cost 10 mobility, and you get more XP than hitting a zombie. So on the Ruins Explorer, you want to do it. And here I haven't done a good job yet, just because I was busy with Void in my main in 285. But you want to make sure that you always max out this daily. So you can see, have quests to gather power ore. If you haven't gathered power ore, I have quests to melt materials, which are a little harder earlier on. But, some of these are easy. Visit Island, those should be much easier to do. That's kind of a quick overview for today. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask, and keep joining me as we progress through this journey in this new world. Keep in mind that you stay active in your alliance. Always make sure that you donate, grow at a nice enough pace to where you're going to be an attractive player, and contribute in chat. So the more you chat, the less likely you are to get replaced with somebody that's, has higher city level or higher BP. So this is a social game, and, learn, continue to learn, share ideas, and teach others if you know it. So I bid you all happy gaming. Have a wonderful day.